Alright, so I'm walking to the train station from lunch, and I wanted to show you this kind of what looks like an accidental park, because there's Huahai Road, which is a major road in Shanghai, and here is this just random beautiful space, right? I mean, look at this overhead thingy, just kind of wraps around and around and around, and it's just this really pretty, really pretty space. This isn't a walkabout video per se. I just want to give you a little bit of context of where I'm going to be filming this brief, I think I'd call it an aha moment episode. So I'll turn the camera around in a second when I find a place to sit, which I think I have just found, and I will share with you my latest aha. Oh nope, there's a sleeping person. I'm going to keep walking. Look at this. This is so cool. Alright, I think I'm going to end up standing over here in this beautiful, beautiful spot and try not to attract too much attention myself. There's a lot of sleeping people in the park today. Wow. Okay, here I go. Okay, is this recording? It is. Hi there. Welcome to a week 8 aha moment. You're going to have to forgive my sunglasses right now. I cannot look at you directly. It is a bright summer day here in Shanghai. I just went to my first podcast group. It's like book club, but for podcasts. Oh my god, if you don't have one of these in your area, I'll put the link to the organization that doesn't set it up, but that keeps lists of people that do this, and they send out the podcast group podcast of the month that you discuss, and it's so cool. Anyway, so my brain's kind of exploding in that way, and it really reminded me of something I was thinking about earlier today as I was walking to the podcast brunch. How pretty is this area behind me, right? Okay, anyway, it really reminded me of what I was thinking about this morning, with feeling like my brain and partially my creative soul being a cup. I was playing with a new audio app trainer pronunciation thing this morning. I'll share that in a tools video in a little bit, but I was playing with that as I was walking to the podcast group brunch, and the reason why I was listening to it is because it felt like my brain was, I want to say empty, but not empty in the sense of there was nothing in there, knock knock, but empty in the sense that I was ready for new. And it just felt like I was ready, and I was craving some newness, and I felt like I could absorb it. And in second language acquisition field in academia, there's a phrase for that, and something input, I don't remember, it doesn't matter. The point is, I felt like I was ready for new, and so I turned on this trainer, which is actually very cool, and it just played sounds, and it did the pronunciation in Mandarin, and you can tell it how many times you want it to do that. So I set it to twice in Mandarin and then once in English, and I put it in my purse, and I just walked down the street and listened to all these words, and I kind of slowly kept saying the words as I was walking down the street, and I found it was really relaxing because I love walking, and that's kind of a meditative state. And so to walk and listen to these sounds as I was just going down the street, it just feels like a lot of input was washing over me, and I was able to practice it, and I feel like I could maybe recognize these sounds in the future if I keep doing this, which I think I will. But again, it was that feeling of I could listen to music as I walked down the street, I could just walk down the street, although it was at least half an hour, and I wanted something in my ears, and I felt like I was ready for more input. So yeah, so it felt like I was empty, like kind of a glass is empty needing to be filled, especially in summer, like now. And then by the end of the day, or yesterday, I was on a train for 7 hours, and I had studied so much in so many different ways, either online looking at people's Twitter lessons, or I did my tracing practice on the app that I have some videos about, and I did my vocabulary practice, and I did a whole bunch of different things, and I had so much time that I felt that I felt like I was I was actively learning, I forgot that there was kind of a stopping point, and I forgot, and the sun just went away for a second, and I forgot that it can be taxing, and that's back. And so I didn't actually, it's very strange because somebody's like taking photographs of this sleeping guy next to me. 2 people are taking photographs of the sleeping guy. Interesting. Anyway. So I felt like I had reached a maximum, but it wasn't like a frustrating maximum level capacity of what I could do that day, but I definitely felt like I was full. So I feel like I can really feel the difference, the difference when I'm out in the park and I don't have my tripod with me, so I have to keep switching arms. But I feel like I can really feel the difference between when I'm ready for newness with language learning, with the Chinese language, and when I've hit kind of a maximum and I either need to review things I know that are easy or I need to stop and do something else. And it's gradual. Again, it's not like a painful, like I've learned some things where it's consciously painful to keep going because it's so difficult, and I don't feel like it's that right now. I feel like it's pretty damn enjoyable. I just stop sponging it up at one point, and that's when I have to consciously stop myself. And I wonder if you guys have this kind of experience too, where you feel like your brain is kind of fills up and then empties and whatnot. And I don't think this is a revelation that hasn't happened in any other kind of learning before, and I've definitely felt this on various levels, but this is a time when learning a language that I feel it so acutely. And I consciously have a job that doesn't require a lot of my creative self, and where I can compartmentalize my job and do it and come home and do anything else I want, whether it's taxing or not. So I think part of that eases some of the stress of having a very challenging, mentally taxing job. So I think part of it is just I'm able to relax and enjoy what I'm doing outside of work, even though it's challenging, in a way that I might not have been able to do before, especially when I was doing a PhD program, and it was so much effort all the time that I was just maxed out most of the time, and it was hard to get to the point where I was just doing something that was enjoyable. So I think it's kind of nice to feel the subtler, I'm ready to learn, that's it, I need to stop learning today kind of thing. And I can shut it off to a degree, but there's still Chinese language all around me. There's still Mandarin everywhere. But I can shut it off in the way that I'm like, I'll let that wash over me now. I don't have to absorb everything all the time. So I'm kind of liking my language learning environment right now. I'm kind of curious what you guys' experience, well, sorry, that's a pretty intense hand I got there. What your guys' experience is with this language learning curve. Do you go in this kind of wave of ready to learn new and definitely feeling maxed out, or do you just push a certain amount every day or every few days or on a regular schedule? So it'd be very interesting to hear some input as to what you do to learn whatever language you're learning, whether it be Chinese or any other language. Anyway, that's my aha moment of the week, is when you're actually rested, I can feel when I am rested and mentally calm, I can feel when I'm ready for new a lot better than when I'm stressed out and mentally taxed all the time. Who knew? Been running on overdrive for most of my adult life. I like learning new, but I think I may have been pushing myself. I think other people have said that to me, but I think I might actually understand it now. So this is what moderation feels like. Whoops. Anyway, hope you're doing great on this day or night, depending on wherever you are, and more later. Bye-bye.